We often talk about the negative impact of companies on biodiversity, but what about the potential for positive actions? What role can the mining sector play in that regard?
Frank, it's a great question. And before I share three ways in which we can have a positive impact, let me first say that our first and primary responsibility as all businesses, but particularly the mining industry, is about avoiding and limiting our negative impact. Like all of you, I'm sure I am completely intolerant to greenwashing. And so I would hate for anybody to think that because I'm talking about the potential for positive impact, we've forgotten that certainly in our business, we make a real impact on the ground. And our first responsibility has to be to minimize and avoid that impact as much as possible. But once we've done that, and we've done everything possible to minimize our negative consequences, it behooves us to really look at how we can make a positive difference to get to nature positive. So there are three ways, Frank, really, that our industry has been working to make a positive impact. And Kathleen talked about the importance of both conservation and restoration, and those are the two. So let me just talk about conservation to begin with. You know, for us, we have the opportunity to use both the land holdings that we have, and then in partnership with others, an even bigger amount of land to put it into conservation. And here I must say it's got to be responsible. Can't just be fences and fines, although in some cases that may be appropriate. So a great example here would be Vale, the Brazilian mining company. They on their own conserve about 1 million hectares of land just on their own. That represents 12 times as much land as they disturb. And then what they've done is they've joined up with other large Brazilian businesses to then conserve or rehabilitate 4 million hectares. So that's a huge amount of land that they're able to directly conserve or do it in partnership with others. So that's conservation. The second one is restoration. And here, of course, for us, it's about restoring areas that we have already mined. A good example here is the Yarra forest in Australia, where Alcoa, a aluminium company, has been mining bauxite. And they set themselves a goal that within 15 months, so just over a year, within 15 months of stopping mining activity, they want the area to get to the same reference level of species as what would have existed before they started mining. 15 months is not long, and yet they're able to do that because they've been at this for over 50 years. So that's an example of how restoration has to be a major focus. And the third area is on disclosures and data. And here, we just heard from Katie about the importance of eDNA. So a great example is Anglo American that runs this Woodsmith project for fertilizer in the UK, where they're using eDNA techniques to understand species in the area. And once they understand what species there are in the area, they change their mining plan to make sure it doesn't disturb those species. So what they're finding actually is that through eDNA, taking samples of water, species that they thought were extinct, that didn't exist in that area, actually do exist. And so the mine plan never accounted for it because our existing data showed that those species didn't exist. Now that we know they exist, the mine plan has been changed to accommodate those. And the best part is they're going to make 30,000 of those data points available on the atlas that's run by the IUCN for everybody to use. So Frank, three ways to make a positive impact: conservation, restoration, data.